Ordinary average guy podcast show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show, special edition, Halloween edition. We're going to talk about a little recap of Halloween, and I got a guest in the studio today, Josh.
Nice to be here. That was a good intro, man. That was spooky.
Did I scare you?
A little bit.
Welcome to the Buxty Hootie Studios. Glad you could make the trip. What are your thoughts?
It's an up and coming studio. We needed some cigars down here, some mini fridge maybe.
Mini fridge, yeah.
The couch is nice.
The couch is nice, yeah.
I'm glad it's not a black leather couch.
It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show. And we know you know what we're talking about. So I was a couple of weeks ago, or last week or 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how my holiday season starts now during Halloween. Halloween is when I'm starting it. I never was truly like that, but I'm doing it this year, and wife and I and the kids, we've had a good Halloween season so far. Today's date is November 1st. So yesterday was Halloween, and I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about how our day went, a little recap. How did you have trick-or-treating yesterday on Halloween?
On the 31st, yeah, that's when our town does it.
Okay.
I was also at a friend's house the Saturday before, and they had trick-or-treating there. Weather a lot better Saturday before. It was cold last night.
Yeah, it was cold. It yesterday. So I live in a smaller village also, and we had trick-or-treating on Saturday as well. So growing up too, when I lived in a small town, it was always on like a Sunday or Saturday. I'm guessing you probably did your trick-or-treating down the road where you lived, so that was probably on the weekend too, huh?
Yeah.
So that just must be a city thing where they trick-or-treat on actual Hallows Eve. Or no, I guess it would be Halloween. Yeah, Hallows Eve would be the 30th.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because it's a school night.
Yeah, that's true.
School is in session.
But we went trick-or-treating 3 times this year. We went on Saturday at our house here, and then on Sunday we went to my grandma and grandpa's house, and we trick-or-treated there, and then we had some of my grandma's chili. Oh, that was delicious. And then we went, and then we had trick-or-treating last night at my in-laws' house. And I'll be honest with you, my kids they were kind of like trick-or-treated out. They were like, we'll just hand out candy. And we were kind of like, okay, sounds good, because it was shitty outside. Definitely shitty. Did you do anything fun this Halloween season?
Yeah, well, my brother's born on the 26th. My mom's birthday is actually today, November 1st.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't think she even knows what podcasts are, so she'll probably never listen to this. And then
your son is famous.
My parents' anniversary is October 27th, so those 3 things are always around Halloween. So normally my parents and my brother, they'll put on some kind of Halloween party. Just my brother, sometimes just my parents. But we had a big one because it was 40th birthday for him, 45th for anniversary for my parents, and then my mom is 65 today. So they had a big one at Meats Opera House.
Hey, shout out to Meats Opera House.
And the theme was like carnival theme outfits. I was the cymbal monkey.
Okay. Oh, dude, Halloween. Dressing up for Halloween back in the day for a Halloween costume party. Like, especially like in college.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was Bill Clinton for probably 12 straight years, but...
So I'm assuming you got away with a lot of things.
Yeah, when you put a mask on, you can be a whole different person.
Those are the good old days. Shout out to Meats Opera House, St. Nazianz, Wisconsin. Meat. I'll send you the invoice for the podcast.
Hey,
shout out.
you know that was voted best food in Sheboygan County last year?
And it's not in Sheboygan
No,
County.
it's not in Sheboygan County.
It's in Manitowoc County. Hey, you got to be really damn good.
That's how good the food is.
You have to be really good if you're going to win best food and you're not even in the county. But yeah, dude, I think that's one thing that I maybe miss the most about Halloween is not. Well, I have little kids now, so we're just kind of at the house or we do kid-friendly stuff, but not being able to go to a grown-up Halloween costume party. That was good times back in the day.
Maybe someday we'll invite you.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I look forward to it. Actually, I think I was invited.
Yeah.
Actually, I know for a fact I was invited.
Well,
I saw it on Facebook. It's like,
yeah.
hey, you have a party today.
And we used not too long ago. What was that? When we used to go to the bars for Halloween, probably maybe 10 years ago now. I just had a memory pop up on Facebook when you and Cassie did the dice, the 6 and 9 of dice.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a good outfit.
yeah. I was a 6. She was a 9. The only bad thing about that outfit is we always had to stand and we could never swap
always
places and
96.
pictures, and everyone was like, "Why are you a 96?" I don't know. Yeah, that was the same year you and Andy were dressed up like sailors, and you were USS Friendship.
SS Friendship.
SS Friendship. Hey, do you know what SS stands for?
No.
Because I've been we're a big Titanic family, as you know.
Yeah.
And so every time I look up the Titanic, it was RMS, the Titanic, and it's Royal Mail Ship. So I was trying to figure out what SS stood for. Anyway, we're going off topic, but
Steel ship.
Steel Ship? I don't think so. But no, yeah, this year we went to, so yeah, like I said, a lot of kid-friendly stuff. Went to a pumpkin patch. I got a couple other things I want to talk about a little later on, but pumpkin patch was the big one. We did not carve any pumpkins though. We didn't. Because our trick or treating was last Saturday. We went to the pumpkin patch last Friday, so we didn't really have time to carve. So I felt bad about that, but you can't win them all. And one other thing that I wanted to talk about was, do you remember quite a few episodes ago I talked about our house being haunted?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember when I said that my sister's friend cut someone's hair that was talking about our house?
Yep.
So our youngest daughter, she's looking at the corner of, looking at things that aren't there and talking to it. That's something that just started happening. A couple nights ago, she started crying, and we got her up and went into her room, and she's just looking at the corner of the room, just screaming, crying. And ever since then, every night she doesn't want to go in there. She's freaking out. We've been having a lot of rough nights.
So your house is relatively newer house.
Well, that's kind of funny because it's 25 years old, so yeah, it's relatively newer, I guess. But
our house is 100 years old.
Oh, that's okay. You got me beat there.
When our cat always looks at weird stuff, and the dogs and the wife thinks it's haunted. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Are you a believer?
I'm a somewhat believer, I guess. Like when I was little.
Oh, you got a great story.
Yeah,
but when you were little.
When I was little, I thought I saw a ghost. Like, I don't know. As I get older, I question it more.
You told me that story back in high school, and at that time,
Yeah.
I would have thought you believed it, and you the way you told the story, it was like.
Well, and then we've done like ghost hunting with the buddies, with like stuff you can buy off of Amazon or whatever, white noise machines and stuff.
Sure.
And I think it's a lot of your imagination runs wild on that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that figure I saw, I remember as a kid, I woke up and I saw this figure standing over my bed, and I thought it was my dad, so I said, "Dad," and then it responded with, "Come with me," and I got scared and I did the little covers over the head. Actually prayed to God that it would go away.
Really?
Woke up in the morning and I didn't know if it was a dream or if it really happened. Finally told my parents, I don't know, a day or two after. And my mom's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, Josh, tell us about this ghost you saw."
Okay.
And I described what the guy looked like, and then it was a pretty accurate description. I mean, it wasn't like any like defining details, but to the guy that actually lived in that house before and actually died in that house.
Oh God.
So that was spooky, but
Yeah, I grew up in a house too. I think where someone died, or maybe they didn't die in the house, but they definitely had a. I don't. I guess I don't. I'm not sure. If they had a heart attack and then they got taken out. But either way, the house. I think has anyone ever lived in a house that wasn't like
right.
like everyone always has a story about the house, and our house is relatively new, so you kind of wonder like, well, why the hell? But we definitely had. Now it has been quiet, more quiet, lately until my youngest daughter started. Just I don't know. It's been weird, but
So
they're very definitely. It's very spooky, and it's good for a Halloween episode.
when you hear noise in the house, do you go investigate or what do you do?
No, I don't. Well, we did then, because we were hearing some, like the radio was on. I mean, it was noises like that. But are you saying like if I just
Hear a bang or something? Also,
No, I won't investigate. I mean, if it's just one bang or whatever.
No.
But...
So last night, I'm laying in bed and I hear a bang downstairs.
Okay.
And the dog goes wild, goes barking down the stairs.
Okay.
And I'm like, he can take care of it. I'm not going down there.
That's why you have a dog.
Yeah, and I think it was probably just a cat jumping around. Not sure. I guess we'll never know. But
Yeah. But yeah, who knows? I guess I last night too. I thought I heard something too that was kind of weird. But like when I was living in the house growing up, I heard like you would. I should ask my folks about that. My brother has a story. I don't know if I said that or not on that episode, but so I have a brother that's a lot younger than I am, quite a bit younger. He was born when I was a sophomore in high school. Same parents and everything, but my parents were relatively young when they had me. So then they had my brother. Anyway, long story short, I remember we were telling my brother to go downstairs and play. I don't know why, but we're like, go in the basement and play. And he didn't want to, and he was like young. So he didn't even know what the word ghost was. Did I ever tell you the story?
I think you said it
So-
on the podcast. I think.
Oh, did I? Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm not sure. I think so.
Well, I started it in case you missed that episode.
Short story long.
Yeah, short story long. He didn't want to go down. He was scared, and we're like, "Why are you scared?" He's like, "Oh, there's white monsters that are mean to me down there," and it's like, "Oh, white monsters." I mean,
Yeah.
so there was just I don't know why ghosts always go after like little kids, but no, but that was weird. But we also went. So anyway, back on Halloween, went trick or treating, and the big thing about October 31st to me personally is that it's Halloween, but it's also tax day. And when I'm talking about the dad tax. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups. I was so it's funny because we were going trick or treating. I'm taking the kids up to the doors, and they're like, it seems like nowadays like people don't like just hand you candy and just put it in your bag. Like a lot of people let you pick what you want, and then of course there's a lot of houses where they don't even come to the door. They just leave a bucket out. So I'm looking and they're digging through the candy, and I'm seeing like Twix bars and stuff like that. And I'm just like, hey MJ, don't you like Twix, don't you? Hey, grab the Twix, grab the Twix. And then they take like fucking like Twizzlers and shit. And it's like, why are you take Twix, take the Reese's peanut butter cup? And so it's just like, oh, you don't like that. I don't think you like that, stuff like that. But yeah, this is not my diet has not been going so well this past week because we just have so much candy in the house. Did you have a lot of candy? Did you handed out candy for trick or treating?
Yeah, my wife did. Well, we had to leave early yesterday for a volleyball game, so she did the whole bowl out on the porch.
Oh,
trick.
okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was just I said, turn the lights off, lock the doors, whatever, they won't come. Well, we got a Ring doorbell, and I think it was the first. It looked like a mother-daughter pair, maybe younger sister, older sister, came up. It took a long time at the bowl, and we couldn't see the bowl on the camera.
Okay. Interesting.
But then, lo and behold, after they left, the next time was like an hour later, some boys came up and rang the doorbell. So obviously there's no bowl left there at all, and the bowl was gone when we got home. So I think that first pair when we left, it was like 15 minutes after we left the house, took the stash and ran. But
I hope it's two sisters and not a mother.
Yeah,
Unless did the mother look like she was a crackhead or something like that?
Oh, she looked like she liked candy.
When you said that, I had a vision in my head. I can. She's probably. I'm not gonna say it, but I know exactly the type of person you're talking about. No, we what the hell was I also gonna say? Oh, I will say that this year, because it was beautiful on Saturday, so there's a lot of trick or treaters. I saw real quick, I saw a video on Facebook the other day, and it's like the best. It was it was terrible, but it was funny. It was like this kid showed up to this bowl. There's a ring door camera, and he puts his backpack down. He dumps the whole bowl into his backpack, and then he goes to the Ring doorbell and just gives it the finger.
That's the thing with the Ring doorbell. Like when you do put the bowl out, like these kids are being seen and they don't even care.
Yeah, I know. That's the world we live in. What are you gonna do? No respect. When I was a kid, they would put the bowl out with a take one, and I feel pretty good about it. Like I took one.
I always took one too.
I took one.
There was one house where I grew up that they'd put like healthy snacks out.
Oh yeah, we had one.
No,
Yeah.
Didn't even stop there.
Yeah, we had well, so my kids, like, they actually genuinely like healthy food. Like they do. Like they like fruits and vegetables. And we went to this one house. There's an older lady who she's an older lady, but she's still like good looking, but she's old. She's like 80 years old, but she's still got like a nice body and stuff. And I always tell my wife that I got to go help her clean her gutters. But she had candy, but then she also had a little plate there of like those cutie oranges,
Yeah.
And my kids took the oranges. And that was a perfect example where I'm like, dude, don't you want a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Screw the oranges.
But they took the oranges. But I remember that too. Like that was an old grandma thing, I think, where they would always hand out like apples and oranges, shit like that. Before, nowadays I think people try to, because with the razor blades and all that shit, people probably don't want. I'm only gonna eat stuff that's in a wrapper, personally.
I always wonder, like, because there was one on Facebook, I think, and it was near our house, my wife and I's house, and it showed it was a Rice Krispie bar, and it had a pin, like,
really,
a pin in it, and like, oh, this was on the corner of whatever, and my child checked the candy. Like, I wonder how much of that is true, and how much of that is like a kid like being like, oh, I want to get attention, so I'm going to put this in my candy. Be like, hey, look, Daddy, look what I found.
Oh well, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I can't believe that the sickos out there exist that would put that stuff.
I
in
know
candy.
I don't. Who even like thinks of that? Like, who takes the time to put pins in Rice Krispie bars? Because people do it obviously, but it's like, what? How do you get your kicks? Like, how do you? It's just like it's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, so we went trick-or-treating. It was a good turnout. I saw a kid. He was like, he maybe was a little too old to go trick-or-treating, but he still was trick-or-treating like with a group of people. And he was dressed up like Donald Trump. It was so funny. And I even got my picture taken with him because he was like spot on. And he had the voice down and everything. And I don't know. It just was it's just crazy how.
Speaking of that, my one request from my wife when I told her I was going to be here, she said, "Tell J-Kenn to talk like Trump more."
Oh, talk like Trump more.
Yeah, she loves it. She
really.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say that she's not like a big Trump fan.
No, she's pretty neutral when it comes to politics.
But the reason I bring that up is because the Trump thing, the Trump voice, it's a good voice. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, all right.
I like how you get the hands in the position.
I can't do a Trump voice if I don't. Even when I'm down here all by myself, eat the Rice Krispie bars, good crispy. I love them without the pins. Don't do the pins in the crispy bars. Rice, white on rice. I don't know.
It is a good.
Yeah, it's funny when you try to do voices. I just stand in the mirror and do. That's the only voice I can really do. I think it would be funny to do like to be that guy that just does voices once in a while. Like Dana Carvey, he does voices, but that's his job. Like me, just come to work and be like,
Or who's that guy that's on here? I don't even know if he's still on it, but he was on the Fox NFL Sunday Kickoff.
Frank Caliendo.
Yeah,
Frank Caliendo.
He's got a few good
Yeah,
characters. He
but
does.
but that's his job.
Right.
Like, can you just imagine just being like an ordinary average guy and just
Yeah.
thanks for the gas. Here's a 20. Just like the person be like, what the hell are you doing? But no, that was a, and then that's one thing I like, not to bash on today's costumes, but I feel like that was the only costume the reason I bring it up is because that was the only costume I saw where it was like, all right, go in your dad's closet, get his tie, get his sport coat, here's a wig. Every costume, like my own kids, it's like we bought something on Amazon and okay, here you go. But like the days of like just finding stuff around the house and dressing up, it's kind of gone, and I kind of miss that a little bit. I think that was funny back in the day.
I think the internet really took that away because even like for our parties now, if we do theme parties, like the first thing you do is just you Google it.
Yeah,
I need a carnival costume or whatever.
Yeah, and like my mom, I remember like we had a bin. Like a Halloween
we did too.
bin, and it had wigs in there and all sorts of stuff. And you went to a party, or you just would dig through this bin and put something together. And I don't know, that's pretty funny. You had to think a little bit years ago. Now that kind of went away. But anyway, let's get going here. This is supposed to be a short episode on trick or treating, a special episode coming out on the 1st of November, not a normal day. But we do have, even though it is an episode that wasn't meant to happen, we did get a sponsor, actually. And this week's sponsor is Over the Top, I'm butchering it, Over the Top Halloween Decorations. Here's to you that go out there and go over the top on Halloween, turn your front yard into a cemetery, get out your electric chair that you had in the basement all year. We all know you're psychotic, and this is the one day, 1 week of the year that you can really show your true colors. So thank you very much for Over the Top Halloween Decorations. Appreciate you for sponsoring this week's episode. And to go off that a little bit, so last week we went to, there was this, did I talk about this last 2 weeks ago, about that house we went to? And he had all the decorations, and he actually let people just come and walk through his house?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I talked about we went to that pumpkin thing where we walked around and looked at all the pumpkins. And then after that, we went to this guy in Kimberly or Little Chute, something like that. But he has this house, and he's all these like insane amount of decorations. And his front yard was like a cemetery. And then you can go into his garage. But then, so we were like, oh, this is innocent fun. And I know I hate this microphone because I can't even look at you. But it's like, this is innocent fun. And we walked into his garage, and there's this guy like with a chainsaw chopping off another guy's head. And then there was another like guy getting electrocuted in a chair. And my kids are like, they literally start bawling. All of them. Bawling. My 6'4", 2-year-old. And actually, my 2-year-old was like, whatever. But my 6 and 4-year-old are like, this is insane. And they're grasping at our legs, and everyone's looking at us like, what kind of parents are you? So we didn't even make it. And we could have went into his backyard. He had a back shed and everything. And me and my wife were like, we really want to see this stuff. Like, this guy went all out. And we're like, MJ, just close your eyes, dude. Just close your eyes. And he's like, get me out of here. I'm like, okay, we'll have to leave. So we picked him up and we walked out, and then we walked out the driveway, and everyone's looking at us. But that was the amount of, the work was insane that this guy did, but just the amount of money also. And I don't know what he does with it during the regular year.
Where do you put that stuff when it's not on display?
I don't know. And then, I have no idea. But the guy seemed like a normal guy, but I could see like, okay, this guy's, he lives for Halloween. But that was pretty funny. Unordinary opinion. I don't know where you're going to stand on this. This is just my unordinary opinion. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but this year for Halloween, a lot of people handed out candy. A lot of people had the dish out, but there was still quite a few people that just didn't do anything. And I don't know. My unordinary opinion is I think it's Halloween. I believe. Don't be a grouch. Put the bowl out at least. Put the bowl out at least.
Do you need decorations?
I don't know. No. I didn't know you were gonna have decorations, but you should still have the bowl out for candy for kids to grab candy.
Last year we did not, but I think we were gone. But otherwise, every year, I mean, and this is pre-child. Every year when it was just my wife and I, we've at least handed out candy.
Okay.
Like normally we do it in shifts. I would do it for an hour, then she'd do it for an hour. But
and at first that was gonna be my opinion. Like you have to hand out candy, and I went against that. That was an old me. I was like, hand out the candy. But now at least, because obviously we put a bowl out because we were trick-or-treating ourselves. But I don't know. You just walk past, we walked past 4 houses in a row and there was nothing. It's like, oh, this is fun.
So
it's like, get your bowl out there and put some fucking Snickers in there for the kids. For the kids.
So I know you said you did this with your kids, but I guess probably an ordinary opinion of my own is.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Keep the kids at their home bases. Like you're. I mean, we do not have that many kids that live on our street that came by last night.
Okay.
And it's like, where are these kids coming from? Like, when they, go from town to town to town.
Hey, you're showing your true colors here. You're going to ID them? You can ID them? Where do you live?
Well, with inflation, candy's expensive, and then I take the dad tax off of that.
That's true.
We still have a lot of leftovers from yesterday, though.
Yeah, I believe in voter ID. I don't believe in Halloween ID. Okay, because I went against you there. I mean, I trick or treated in 3 towns.
Oh, I know that's what. Yeah.
But that being said, we trick or treated in our own house. Now let me ask you this: we went trick or treating in my grandma and grandpa's neighborhood. Would that change your mind on that a little bit?
No, that I get more. My parents just took me to the bars normally for trick or treating.
Yeah, that was a different time.
Yeah.
That was a different time. That's shied upon nowadays for some reason. I remember going to the bar and with my mom and dad, and all I wanted to do was play games, and I would get $1 for my dad or whatever, and then I have to turn it into quarters, and then so I go up to the bar and I'd be trying to get the guy's attention. And they would never come over. Yeah. And I was like, I need quarters. And, I'm not buying anything, but, and then they would finally give me quarters.
There was a bar up north where we used to snowmobile as kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you said, please, they would give you 5 quarters for $1.
Really?
4. Yeah.
How'd you find that out?
Because I was a polite kid. I said, please. And she's like, oh, for saying please, you get 5.
Oh, she did say that. Okay.
But I think it was only the one bartender because I thought I remember the next year going there and saying please, and I only got 4, and I was like, well,
you're like,
what the hell
sir,
is this?
I said please, you dick. Yeah, those. Nowadays, do they even have games in bars anymore?
No, if they do, they have change machines normally that you don't even have to go to the bartender and ask.
No, I think they should have the bar. You need to go to the bar to get change. I mean, that taught me a lot of lessons. Going up to the bar, sitting there. Trying being ignored, and it really turned me into who I am.
Yeah.
But this week's song of the week. So I had 2 songs, and then so I'm gonna say both of them. The first one though isn't necessarily a song of the week, but I got to bring it up because it's Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett. I think we all know. That's a fantastic Halloween song, the Monster Mash. But I have a funny story about that. So back in the day, and you probably were there because this was in Manitowoc. We were out, and I don't even know if this was this wasn't even during Halloween. This was just a random night out actually, and they're playing all this rap music and shit, and all these. Were you there?
I think so. I think this is ringing a bell.
So all these chicks are dancing dirty, and everyone's just getting drunk and having a good time, and I went and played the Monster Mash on the jukebox, and I'll tell you what, if you want people to get pissed at you at a bar, you play Monster Mash at 1:00 in the morning when they
not during Halloween.
Not during Halloween. That's one. So anyway, that song will forever hold a special place in my heart for that reason alone. Needless to say, I didn't get laid that night. But actually, and I don't think you're going to know the song. The actual song of the week, I don't think a lot of people are going to know the song. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up. It's just a good old-fashioned rock and roll song. It's called Keepin' Halloween Alive by Alice Cooper. You know Alice Cooper?
I know Alice Cooper, Wayne's World.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. Did you ever heard that song, Keeping Halloween
No.
Alive? It's actually a fun song. It's like a fun, upbeat, kind of funny song by Alice Cooper. It's called Keeping Halloween Alive. Check it out. It's a good tune. So anyway, that's this week's that's not even this week's episode. That's a special edition Halloween episode with J-Kenn and Josh here. Actually, Josh, am I going to be able to get you to come back again to do another episode?
Possibly. I'll have to have my people talk to your people.
No, that sounds good. I have my people talking to a lot of people right now. We want to get we're gonna get Elon Musk down here, but
Yeah, Elon mentioned that the other day.
Our schedules. Actually, he said he can make pretty much anything work. It's actually my schedule that's not working.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we're probably not going to get him on anytime soon. I just can't seem to make it work.
I know he was talking about bringing a robot with him too, one of his new robots.
Yeah. So we'll see if that works. But anyway, that's this week's episode. We hope you had a great Halloween. Again, officially start of the holiday season in my book. We will be back in a few days. Peace.